Good morning, dear students. Hope you are all okay. Though we are passing through the tough time, still be safe and stay at your home. Today, we will discuss about the features of the lumbar vertebrae. By this time, we have the knowledge that the entire vertebral column consists of 33 vertebrae and they are named regionally as 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic vertebrae, 5 lumbar vertebrae, 5 sacral vertebrae. They fuse together, all together form the sacrum, and the 4 coccygeal vertebrae, they fuse to form the coccyx. The length of the vertebral column, it varies in male and female. In case of male, it is 70 centimeter. In case of female, it is 60 centimeter. And the length, it is contributed by the length of the body, and 1/5 of the length, it is contributed by the intervertebral disc. Now, coming to the definite features of the lumbar vertebrae. Lumbar vertebrae consist of the body and the vertebral arch. The body, it differs from the body of the thoracic vertebra because thoracic vertebra has got the facet for the ribs in the body, but in case of lumbar vertebra there is no facet, and in case of cervical vertebrae the transverse process has got the foramen, that is foramen transversarium, but in case of the lumbar vertebrae the transverse process are thin, long and slender. Now among the 5 lumbar vertebrae, the 4 lumbar vertebrae share the common feature, so they are called typical vertebrae, and the 5th one, it differs from the other vertebrae, so it is called the atypical vertebrae. Now, coming to the definite feature of the typical lumbar vertebra. As a whole, the vertebra is an irregular bone, but the body of the vertebra, that is the modified long bone. It has got superior surface, inferior surface, anterior surface, posterior surface and 2 lateral surface. The superior surface of the lumbar vertebra, the shape of the body is the reniform, that means the kidney shaped. So it has got hilum and the hilum is directed backwards. The superior surface, it is lined by the hyaline cartilage, and inferior surface also lined by the hyaline cartilage, and in between the 2 vertebrae the intervertebral disc intervenes in between the 2 vertebrae. And in case of lumbar vertebrae, the anteriorly the intervertebral disc is thicker and it contributes to the lumbar curvature of the vertebral column, that is the one of the secondary curvature of the vertebral column. Okay. Now, the body anteriorly it is extensive, posteriorly it is thinner, and on posterior surface on the centrum it has got the one big foramen for the basivertebral vein and other multiple foramina for the passage of the arteries. The body is attached with the vertebral arch through one thick bony pedicles on both the sides, and the pedicles has got superior notch and inferior notch. The superior notch is not that much definable, but the inferior notch is more deep. The superior notch is for the passage of the spinal nerve of the preceding ones, and the inferior notch is due for the passage of the spinal nerve of the corresponding vertebrae. Okay. The body and the vertebral arch, they encloses one foramen that is called the vertebral foramen. And the vertebral foramen of the lumbar vertebra, it is triangular in shape and large, but not that much large in case of cervical vertebrae, because these two triangular vertebral foramen, they accommodate the spinal enlargement, but the cervical spinal enlargement of the cervical region is more large than the lumbar one. Now coming to the different process of the vertebral arch. What are the processes? One process that is coming from the pedicle laterally, directed laterally, that is slender, thin and flat, long, that is these two are the transverse process. And at the junction of the pedicle and transverse process, one thick, flat, bony projection, that is the laminae. These two are the laminae and they are directed backward and medially. And on the midline, they fuse, they form the spinous process. The spinous process of the lumbar vertebra, it is quadrangular in shape. At the junction of the pedicle and the lamina, two vertical processes which are directed above, those are called the superior articular process, and another vertical process which are directed inferiorly, those are the inferior articular process. The superior articular process has got the concave articular facet and which are directed backwards and medially. The inferior articular process has got two articular facets which are convex in shape and directed forward and laterally. So, the vertebral arch consists of the superior articular process, inferior articular process, spinous process and two transverse process. This vertebral arch is attached with the vertebral arch attached with the body through the pedicle, the short thick pedicle, and vertebral body and the vertebral arch, they encloses the triangular vertebral foramen. Through the foramen, the spinal cord with meninges pass. Okay. Now, I am showing the feature of the fifth lumbar vertebra, which is the atypical one. It has got also the body and the vertebral arch, but here the pedicle is pyramidal in shape. The pedicle is pyramidal in shape and the transverse process, it is short, not that much long and thick, and it encroaches to the body. So the pedicle is here, it is pyramidal in shape and two transverse process, it is short and thick and encroaches to the body. And the difference between the superior articular process and the inferior articular process is same. Where in case of atypical vertebra, the distance between the superior articular process is larger than the inferior articular process. But in case of fifth lumbar vertebra, the distance between the superior articular process and the inferior articular process, it is all the same. And spinous process, it is quadrangular in shape and directed slightly downwards. The transverse process is thick, encroaches the body. The pedicle is pyramidal in shape. These are the variation in the fifth lumbar vertebrae. Now, coming to the different attachment of the lumbar vertebra. Now coming to the attachment of the body. On the superior surface, it is lined by the hyaline cartilage, and on the superior surface, above the hyaline cartilage lies the intervertebral disc. Now, on the anterior surface, on the superior border and the inferior border, the anterior longitudinal ligament is attached. On the posterior surface, superior border, inferior border, the attachment of the posterior longitudinal ligament. On either side of the anterior longitudinal ligament, on either side, on the lumbar 1, 2, 3 on the right side and lumbar 1, 2 on the left side, the crus of the diaphragm is attached. And posterior to the crus of the diaphragm, on the superior border and inferior border, the psoas major muscle is attached. Now, coming to the vertebral canal, in case of the lumbar 1 vertebra, the conus terminalis, the conical terminal part of the spinal cord with meninges is present here. And in the vertebral canal of the other lumbar vertebrae, the bunch of nerve fibers, which is called the cauda equina, because it resembles like a horse tail, they present in the vertebral canal along with the meninges. Now coming to the different processes, attachment of the different processes. For the pedicle, the superior notch, here lies the spinal nerve with the vessels which corresponds to the preceding spinal nerve, and below the pedicles lies the spinal nerve and the vessels which corresponds to the same vertebrae. That means if it is a lumbar 4 vertebra, the pedicle above showing the lumbar 3 spinal nerve and the inferior notch give assist for the lumbar 4 spinal nerve. Now coming to the attachment of the transverse process. Transverse process, thick, flat, long process, and for all the transverse process of all lumbar vertebrae, the anterior surface shows the oblique ridge, vertical ridge, which gives attachment to the anterior layer of thoracolumbar fascia, and this ridge divides the anterior surface, medial larger one and lateral shorter one. The larger one gives origin to the psoas major muscle, and the lateral one gives attachment to the quadratus lumborum muscle. Now coming to the attachment of the tip of the lumbar vertebra, the tip gives origin attachment to the middle layer of the thoracolumbar fascia all through. That means from lumbar 1 to lumbar 5, lumbar 5th vertebra gives attachment to the middle layer of the thoracolumbar fascia. But in case of lumbar 5th vertebra, the transverse process, tip of the transverse process also give attachment to the iliolumbar fascia, iliolumbar ligament, which is the modification of the middle layer of the thoracolumbar fascia, iliolumbar ligament. And another ligament, iliolumbar ligament, is attached to the tip of the transverse process, and another attachment to the iliac tuberosity of the ilium. And another ligament, that is the lumbosacral ligament, that is from the tip of the transverse process to the rough area of the alley of the sacrum. Now coming to the attachment of the mammillary process. What is that? On the posterior margin of the superior articular process, the two processes are there. These are the mammillary process, and the mammillary process gives attachment to the multifidus muscle and medial intertransversus muscle. Another process is the accessory process, that is posterior inferior surface, present on the posterior inferior surface at the root of the transverse process and gives attachment to the medial intertransversus muscle. Now coming to the attachment of the spinous process. Spinous process, it gives attachment to the posterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia, and it also gives attachment to the erector spinae muscle, multifidus muscle, and supraspinous and interspinous ligament. The inferior notch of the pedicle and the superior notch of the adjacent vertebra of the pedicle, they form the intervertebral foramen. The intervertebral foramen anteriorly, it is related with the posterolateral surface of the body. Posteriorly, it is related with the laminae and the inferior articular surface, and these give passage to the spinal nerve. And it has been observed that the intervertebral foramen, it is decreased gradually, but the spinal nerves which are coming from the lumbar segment, they are larger in size, and so the compression is more frequent in this region. Another thing, the transverse process of the fifth lumbar vertebra may extend, and then it reaches up to the iliac crest of the ilium bone and the alley of the sacrum. They may completely or partially fuse with this part, and they compress the nerve in different situation. This variation is called the sacralization of the lumbar vertebrae. Now, coming to the ossification of the vertebra, there are three centers for the primary ossification. One center for the centrum of the body, and two center for the each half of the neural arch. These primary centers appear at the month of the third month intrauterine life, and the two halves, they fuse together at the end of the first year, and they fuse with the body at the end of the sixth year. Okay, there are 7 secondary center for the ossification. They are present: one of the annular epiphysis of the superior surface, one center for the annular epiphysis of the inferior surface, then third and fourth for the mammillary process, fifth and sixth for the transverse process, and seventh for the spinous process. So, with this, I am concluding the different features of the lumbar vertebra. Thank you for the listening.